Synesthesia, for me, is where I associate different senses with other senses, and the pathways of my brain connect different things with other things. For me, when I see letters or numbers, or when I hear them, I see a color in my mind, and when I hear musical notes or when I hear songs, I associate those with colors. So I played piano for about 8 years, and I also play guitar and ukulele a little bit on the side. Synesthesia is kind of what makes music interesting to me, because music has color, and it gives music a life to it that most people don't experience, and that's what keeps me in the world of music, I think. I'm going to be playing Comfort Crowd by Conan Gray. That's one of my favorite songs of his, and it's very colorful to me. So.
I just needed company now. Yeah, I just needed someone around.
And so F is like this overwhelming orange color, and then C is just this really overwhelming purple that kind of comes over you, but there's also hints of green and pink, because the note E and G are in the C chord, and that's part of the chord. And then G is a pinkish color, but because he's singing an F, which is kind of clashy with it, that's part of a G7. There's also notes of orange and white in the chord, which is I don't love how that looks, but it does sound really cool.
I make music, so sometimes it helps me, as opposed to remembering a chord, remember a color that goes with the chord. It's kind of cool because the same chord can have a different color in different contexts. Normally, songs in general, a total song will have a color by itself. If I think of one song, I'll be like, okay, that song is green, right? Or something like that. But then if I break it down, chord by chord, then I can divide it in a flow of what colors the chords progress in. And normally, what's really cool about it is that it finds a way that it's it almost stays on a consistent gradient. It'll go from oranges to yellows to green. Generally, sometimes there's a gap, but normally it's if there's a big pause in the music, there'll be some tension, and it'll resolve really quickly to a color that's kind of far away from the other ones. So yeah, it's really fun playing with that right now. Stevie Wonder does a great job. The people who make his albums in the 70s, he had a really warm color themed albums, and the album cover goes really well with the song, and it's very, I won't go as a very autumn orange, a brownish orange color. I have a song I wrote called Pink and Yellow, and it's about somebody that makes that feels like pink and yellow. I wrote the song, and then when I showed it to my friends, they'd be like, okay, so what color am I? And then, I have to think about it. Oh, you're kind of a, a purple, a maroon. You got a nice, it kind of fades into a purplish tone, It's kind of fun.
Okay, so basically, it's the neurons that carry messages in your brain about understanding and letters and numbers, and then the one that also processes colors. Your neurons misfire, so it kind of gets mixed up. That's what the doctor told me. But for me, it's basically that whenever I see numbers or letters every single time, I see the color it's actually printed in or written in, but I also see a color I associate them with. In general, this is what I usually see. O is red, B is blue, C is yellow, D is an orangey color, E is green, F is yellow, G is purple, H is orange, I is a lighter yellow, J is a purpley color, K is an orangish, L is a bright yellow, M is a bright yellow, N is a dark orange, O can be pink and it could be yellow, P is usually orange, Q is a light pink, R is red, S is usually reddish orange, T is orange, and then U is a bluish or sometimes pink color. E is purple, W is purple, X, it kind of depends. It's usually a purplish color. Y is yellow, and Z is a blue or a purple.
Like when you write out a word, like, and then you think about the letters that, like, there's some words that like are a really cool combination of letters when you think about it, and you're like, oh my gosh, that word's so pretty, and then you forget to read, and you're just, I mean, I go in a spiral. And sometimes it's more of like a gradient of color, like, you know, and they've changed over the years, which is really weird. Like it's not the same as when I was little. And I think it's because I've had like more experiences that like have brought a new light to different colors or opportunities for a letter. So my mom didn't know what it was either. We listen to NPR, like NPR a lot, and we like heard an article, and it was like a magazine article, and I was like, oh, that makes sense, or something like that. I think I was like 8. If you know somebody, totally ask them about it, because it's an awesome conversation you'll have.
I love having synesthesia. I think it's more of a superpower than a mental disorder.
I think it's just fun to have.
It adds a whole new element to just your senses and everything.